Last night in Paris, Willy Chavarria had their debut Paris show. This is also Willy's 10th anniversary show. Over the past 10 years, Willy has built this really incredible brand, which feels like in recent seasons has really got its dues on a more kind of global and industry scale. Willy has been in the business for much longer than 10 years, really knows what he's doing. He's trained as a graphic designer, but has also been at Ralph Lauren, American Eagle, really has this understanding of making clothes, but also of building a brand and building and bringing together a community that really comes from a very authentic, very real place, and that doesn't lose that authenticity in a runway show space, in a fashion space, which can often be the case. And this was a really meaningful kind of show and message in incredibly dark political times. Willy is one of the few designers who really puts social justice and political messaging at the forefront of a lot of his shows. There was this incredible strength and dignity and elegance to everyone who walked this Willy Chavarria Autumn Winter 25 show last night in Paris. That is the result of so many different elements that come together to doing a successful runway show, creating a successful and meaningful brand, whether that's the live musicians at the show that we had, the careful choice of setting. This was in the American Cathedral in Paris. The clothes, of course, we had those now classic Chavarria tailoring, his take on kind of slightly oversized Chicano tailoring, so there's amazing pants. The jackets, the shoulders in this collection are kind of bigger than they ever have been before. Second Adidas collaboration. Willy, does a collaboration without selling out. It feels part of this kind of community on his runway. It feels authentic, it feels meaningful, it doesn't feel like a sellout. Leaning into kind of 90s hip-hop silhouettes in terms of clothing and that idea of, again, style, subculture, uniform. I loved how showing this in the context of Paris really lent into that idea of Europe, particularly referenced 17th century kind of baroque exuberance, ostentatiousness. So we saw kind of very surprising fabrics in this collection, a lot of kind of velvets, silks, bouclés, really beautifully done. Kind of there was a great moss green velvet take on Willy Chavarria's Chicano suit. That's really elevating and celebrating the chicness and the style of Chico style. There was lots of women's wear in this collection as well, which was really exciting to see and impeccably articulated. We had Kai walking, we had Alva Claire, we had Paloma, we had Becky G. One of the Chavarria Chico suits will actually be available to buy on eBay as part of one of the other collaborations in this collection, and all the funds for the sales of that will go towards recovery efforts for the California wildfires. Again, another collaboration which was really well executed. You couldn't really spot where Willy had used second-hand clothing in this collection. A really great message there of how accessibly anyone can buy second-hand clothing and make it into not even high fashion, but a look to feel like they are put together and expressing themselves, and to feel that kind of dignity and that sense of pride in what you wear. There was also a sweatshirt with Tinder, and the funds from the sales of that will go to Human Rights Campaign, and they've already made a donation on behalf of Willy to that. So you can see how there's so much kind of the messaging of these shows actually goes right back through to the core of the brand, and there's not really anyone speaking in the way that Willy is in fashion right now, and in culture more kind of widely. It's so important to have this voice, to be having these conversations.